Before we begin, hit subscribe, because sometimes it takes just one strand of hair to expose the monster hiding in plain sight. Leeds, England. December 2000. The air was sharp with winter cold, streets dusted with frost, and Christmas lights flickering through the fog. 16-year-old Leanne Tiernan was walking home after shopping with a friend. She never made it. When she vanished, panic spread through the quiet suburban community. Posters went up, search parties combed the woods, and her family pleaded on television. But days turned to weeks. The festive season passed and hope began to fade. 9 months later, a man walking his dogs in a wooded area stumbled upon something wrapped tightly in plastic and twine. It was Leanne. The girl who vanished into the fog had finally been found. Police at the scene spoke in low voices. Whoever did this had taken time, had planned it. The body was wrapped in multiple layers, her scarf tied carefully around her neck. It was not chaos. It was control. Leanne had been strangled, but there were no signs of a struggle nearby. Detectives believed she was killed elsewhere and then hidden in the woods. The wrapping materials were odd. Plastic bags, ropes, and a strange type of twine used in gardening. It suggested someone meticulous, perhaps experienced. The killer had touched everything, yet seemed to leave nothing behind. Detectives faced the first terrifying thought: this might not have been his first time. Months passed. The case dragged through silence and dead ends. Interviews with locals, friends, and even known offenders brought nothing. The forensics lab tested every inch of evidence, but results came back empty. Investigators felt the weight of a community demanding answers. A teenage girl gone, no witnesses, no clues. Leeds was losing faith. Then, during a detailed forensic re-examination, technicians noticed something faint on the scarf around Leon's neck. A single light-colored hair, barely visible under magnification. It was not human. The hair was sent to a specialized laboratory. Tests confirmed it belonged to a dog. Not just any dog, but a crossbreed of specific lineage. When detectives searched databases for previous crimes involving similar restraint materials, they found a disturbing match. 2 years earlier, another woman had been kidnapped and assaulted. The suspect then was a man named John Taylor, a local poacher and delivery driver who lived alone in Leeds. When officers visited Taylor's home, the air was thick with unease. He appeared calm, polite, even helpful. But detectives noticed 2 dogs pacing in the yard. One of them was a German Shepherd cross. Samples were collected. The dog's hair was compared to the one found on Leanne's scarf. The match was perfect. As detectives dug deeper, Taylor's facade began to crumble. Inside his home, police uncovered chilling evidence. Rolls of the same twine used on Leanne's body, plastic bags identical to those in the wrapping, and magazines containing disturbing images. What made it more haunting was his quiet normalcy. Neighbors described him as friendly. He fed birds, fixed fences, kept to himself. But behind closed doors, he kept trophies, souvenirs of his cruelty. When confronted with the forensic proof, Taylor tried to remain composed. But as the evidence grew overwhelming, his voice faltered. Investigators watched as the mask slipped. The polite dog owner was gone. In his place stood the man who had stalked, kidnapped, and killed a teenage girl. In 2002, John Taylor was convicted of Leanne Tiernan's murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. The case became one of the first in the UK to be solved through animal DNA. Forensic experts called it a landmark moment. A single dog hair, overlooked by the killer, had connected him to his victim and unmasked a predator. Leanne's mother said through tears, "He thought no one would ever find out what he did." But science found him. The streets of Leeds slowly returned to normal, but the innocence of that winter night was gone forever. If one hair could expose a killer, how many monsters are still walking free, leaving traces we have not yet learned to see?